Just a few years ago, the narrative around retail was all about expansion. Big retailers were opening new locations, experimenting with store formats, and trying to get closer to customers in as many places as possible. Physical stores were still seen as a critical advantage, a way to build brand presence and capture foot traffic. But in 2026, something has clearly shifted. Suddenly, many of those same retailers are closing more stores than expected. Not just underperforming locations, but in some cases, entire groups of stores that once seemed essential. And what's interesting is that this isn't just about one problem. It's the result of multiple pressures all hitting retail at the same time. The first, and perhaps most important, is changing customer behavior. Shopping habits are no longer as predictable as they used to be. Foot traffic has become inconsistent. Some days are strong, others are weak. Certain locations perform well, while others see a steady decline. And a big reason for that is the continued shift toward online and hybrid shopping. Customers are no longer choosing between online and in-store. They're blending both. They might browse online, visit a store once, then make future purchases digitally. Or they might only use stores for specific needs, returns, pickups, or urgent purchases. That means many physical locations are seeing less consistent demand, and when traffic becomes unpredictable, it becomes harder to justify keeping every store open. Then there's the cost problem. Running a physical store has become significantly more expensive. Rent is high in many areas. Labor costs have risen. Utilities, security, and inventory management all add to the expense. And unlike online operations, these costs are fixed. Whether a store is busy or empty, those costs remain. So when sales drop even slightly, profitability can disappear quickly. This is where the margin pressure becomes critical. Retail is already a low-margin business in many cases. When costs rise and traffic becomes uneven, even well-performing stores can start to struggle. And that forces tough decisions. Another factor driving closures is overexpansion from previous years. During periods of growth, many retailers opened more locations than they truly needed, often to compete, capture market share, or take advantage of favorable conditions at the time. But now with a more cautious environment, those extra stores are being reevaluated. Companies are asking a simple question: do we actually need all these locations? And increasingly, the answer is no. So instead of maintaining a large footprint, they're optimizing it. Fewer stores, but better performing ones. There's also a strategic shift happening in how retailers think about physical locations. Stores are no longer just places to sell products. They're becoming part of a broader system: showrooms, fulfillment centers, brand experiences, or pickup hubs. But not every location fits that new role. Some stores were designed for a different era. One focused purely on in-person shopping. And those locations are often the first to be closed because they don't align with how retail is evolving. Technology is also playing a major role. With better data and analytics, retailers now have a much clearer view of store performance. They can see exactly which locations are profitable, which ones are declining, and which ones are no longer worth the cost. In the past, these decisions were harder to make. Now they're more precise, and that precision is leading to more aggressive action. Another important piece of this puzzle is inventory. Managing inventory across a large number of stores is complex and expensive. If demand is unpredictable, stores can end up overstocked or understocked, both of which hurt profitability. By reducing the number of locations, retailers can centralize inventory more effectively, improve efficiency, and reduce waste. So store closures aren't just about cutting costs. They're also about simplifying operations. Then there's the broader economic environment. Consumers are becoming more selective with their spending. They're prioritizing essentials, delaying non-urgent purchases, and looking more carefully at value. This doesn't mean retail is collapsing, but it does mean demand is less reliable. And when demand becomes uncertain, businesses tend to become more conservative. Closing weaker stores is one of the fastest ways to protect margins. There's also a competitive angle. Online-first companies, direct-to-consumer brands, and marketplace platforms are all competing for the same customers, often with lower overhead. This puts traditional retailers at a disadvantage because they have to maintain physical locations while also investing in digital capabilities. That dual cost structure is difficult to sustain, so something has to give, and often it's the physical footprint. Interestingly, this doesn't mean physical retail is disappearing. Far from it, it means it's being redefined. The stores that remain are becoming more important, not less. They're being redesigned, relocated, and optimized to serve specific purposes: higher traffic areas, better customer experiences, stronger integration with online channels. In other words, quality over quantity. But getting to that point requires a reset, and that reset is what we're seeing now. Closures are part of the process. They're how retailers adjust to a new reality, a reality where not every location is necessary, where efficiency matters more than scale, and where profitability is more important than presence. There's also a psychological factor at play. When one major retailer starts closing stores, others take notice. It signals that the environment has changed, and that can trigger a broader wave of reassessment across the industry. Because no company wants to be the last one holding on to underperforming assets. So what we're seeing in 2026 is not just a wave of store closures, it's a strategic shift from expansion to optimization, from presence to performance, from growth at all costs to disciplined operations. Big retailers aren't closing stores because retail is dying. They're closing stores because the old model of retail no longer works the same way. And the companies that recognize that and adapt quickly are the ones most likely to come out stronger on the other side. Because in today's environment, success isn't about having the most stores, it's about having the right ones.